Woo! Let's go. We did it, guys. We actually did it. I can't believe it. We actually did it. We killed the American dream. Bravo. Bravo. Housing in the United States is officially dead. It's dead. If you think you're going to own a home in the future, you are sadly mistaken. You're wrong. How did this happen? Because one of three companies now own 1/3 of all of the housing units in the United States. And they're not going after big luxurious houses, guys. They're going after single family units. Now, why is this a massive problem? Because they no longer have to go off of supply and demand. That's why houses are so exorbitantly expensive. I live in the Midwest. I do not live in Los Angeles. I don't live in Miami. I don't live in New York. I live in the Midwest, in the heart of America. And even where I'm at, houses are astronomically more expensive than they used to be only a couple of years ago. Now, people will say, ever since COVID, guys, ever since COVID, yep, supply and demand, didn't have the materials. Ever since COVID, things have gotten so much more expensive. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, guys. Supply and demand. It's not true. Stop listening to that. It is not true. It's wrong. It's all a lie in order to conceal what is actually happening. These big corporations want you to rent forever. You see this right behind me? I live in an apartment. I can easily buy a house. Almost any house. But yet, I choose to live in an apartment. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. And it is very expensive. Something that the most of you probably could not afford. It's expensive. Now, I don't suggest that everyone live in an apartment like this, but at the end of the day, it's just an apartment. I am paying someone else's mortgage. So you think to yourself, how do I change that? Let me grow a pair of cojones and actually buy a house. But here's the problem. Here's why I haven't bought a house. They're way overpriced. They're about 50% overpriced. And that's because they don't want you to be able to afford a reasonable house that you will be able to pay off and make money off of. The American dream is dead. It's gone. It's like the Great Gatsby. Daisy is gone. The American dream is dead. Let that sink in for a minute, because it's real. I know it sounds like I'm being sensationalistic here. And am I? Yeah. Is it necessary? Yeah. Is it called for? Yeah, it is. Because even this apartment, which cost me so much money per month, way more than it should be. By the way, apartments used to be about 30 to 45% of what it would cost for you to buy the equivalent in housing. Now that's gone out the window. And it's simply because when it comes to renting, all of these big companies have bought out all of these units to every single apartment complex throughout the continental United States. You know what they do? They do something that should be illegal. It's called collusion. It's collusion. They all use the same data, and they put their apartment and their specific units into a giant algorithm database that then tells them exactly how much to charge. And it doesn't just tell you based on supply and demand. Supply and demand is dead, guys. That hasn't been the case. If that was the case, then houses would have went down post-COVID, but they haven't went down. And that's because that was a giant lie. They've lied to us. They've lied to you. They've lied to me. They might have even lied to themselves, but it's a lie. This is what they do. Instead, they fleece renters because they know everything about them. They know how much they could charge that would break them and make them not be able to afford what they currently have. And they know the exact amount that would put so much financial pressure on them that they would never be able to leave, and yet they would become comfortably numb to the amount that they pay per unit. And it's individualized. It's artificially, very intelligently curated for that specific duplex or unit or triplex or whatever it is. They pay a monthly subscription to the same exact renter tree algorithm that collects a vast database And everyone within it, it uses that data against themselves in order to say goodbye to supply and demand and make you compete against yourself for your own apartment. Now, here's the problem. You think to yourself, let me go get a mortgage. Well, guys, 1/3 of all housing units, all single family housing units within the United States since 2021 have been bought up by 3 big corporations, investment groups. They're gone. Now, what they're doing with that, they're not just selling it back to you at 50% the cost. That would be easy. They're not doing that. That's simple. They're doing something even more malicious. They're making it to where you will rent forever. You will sign the documents on a mortgage, but you will rent forever. They're so organized with big banks that they want to give you a 50-year mortgage. Do you know that on a 30-year mortgage currently, you will be paying about 100% more? Just double it. Take whatever you paid and double it. That's what you're actually paying. You're paying interest, baby. They're going to make money off you. They don't want you to ever be able to own anything outright, because the second you own things, it's yours. You can drop out. You could say, sorry, I'm going to take my money and I'm going to run. Nope. They want you to be paying a very significant portion of your yearly income towards your house. And you might say, yeah, that makes sense. But at the end of the day, I'll own it, right? You won't own it. You will no longer own it. And if you do somehow scrape by enough, and by the way, pay off the principal, guys. Pay your principal down. Most people don't do that. That's a little secret. Little secret that no one wants to tell you, because the banks don't want to tell you. That's how they make money. You think they give you that loan out of the kindness of their heart? They're making money off you, baby. They're making Robert De Niro's, baby. Left and right. All I see is dollar signs. That's all they see. You're a giant dollar sign to them. Make no mistake. They don't do anything out of philanthropy. They're not kind-hearted. They don't give you it out of the kindness of their heart. They give you that loan because they want to make money off you. That's what they're doing. And you will never own that home. And if you do scrape by and own that home, what I was going to say is, funny enough, you're going to be in it for about 50% of what it's worth. Boomers, you got lucky. You got lucky. You bought a home in the 1960s or 1970s for 170 grand, and now you're selling it for close to $800,000. Congratulations. You lucked out, kid. Take your money and scram. Oh, wait. You have to actually sell your home. Then you have to buy another one. So you're just as screwed as everyone else, now aren't you? Everyone is absolutely screwed. Now, what can we do about this? I don't know what to do. I'm not freaking Nostradamus over here. I'm just someone that is intuitive enough to spark up the debate. What can we do? Trump recently, as of 2026, has said, okay, enough, BlackRock. You can no longer buy single-family homes in the United States. The problem is damage is done. Damage is done. Look at Jared Kushner. Look at his relationship with BlackRock. Look at Trump. Who do you think funded his reelection? Yeah, I wonder who. So now it's okay. Damage is done. No more doing that. Bad, BlackRock. Bad. No more. No more. It's too late, kids. It's too late. The American dream is dead. What can we do about this? I don't know. I don't know. If you think you have the answer and you think you know how to solve this, then leave it below in the comments. But myself, I am at an absolute loss of words. I don't know what to say. All I can do is present you with factual data. I'm the Paul Revere of the housing market. And instead of the British, I guess it's BlackRock. I guess I can't wait for the housing market to collapse, and it will, because this is being held up by nothing but twigs and straws. It's absolutely apparent that this will not last. It can't last. The American people, along with how artificial intelligence is getting ready to take about 15 to 20% of our jobs in the next 3 years. My mom works for a call center. Yeah, they had a meeting. They said, come here. All the big executives were lined up. They said, it's mandatory. You must attend. And they said, you guys have a job. However, you, and you are done. Sorry. AI, baby. AI. And I told my mom, I said, you better brace for impact because you are about to crash. It may not have happened today, but inevitably, AI is cheaper. AI doesn't need bathroom breaks. AI doesn't need healthcare. AI doesn't need electricity. They do need electricity. It does need electricity, but it doesn't need it as far as having a monthly building like a brick and mortar. COVID really was the linchpin that did all of this, including the housing market conundrum. So what can we do about it? I don't know. I'll leave it in the comments. If you think you know, leave it in the comments. But me, I don't know. I don't know what we can do about this. All I know is that maybe owning a home is a thing of the past. If we were smart, we would have done nothing but adopted the homes of our ancestors and just passed them on generationally. That's what the smart people have done. Look at New York. There's average everyday people that live in places in New York, especially New York City or in Manhattan, that are surrounded by multi millionaires and CEOs of big corporations. And the reason they are able to do that is they didn't sell out. They didn't sell their unit. They didn't sell their property. They held. You should never, ever sell real estate property because this is what happens. It's what happens, guys. I don't know what to do about it, but this is the hole that we've dug ourselves in. So, good luck. And thank your politicians, by the way, because they're guilty as hell. They knew about this shit. Do you think that the United States doesn't take account and attempt to elaborate and predict what is happening in the future? They've seen this coming for about 25 years, and they've done nothing. Nothing. Why? Because they're a bunch of greedy, arrogant pricks, and they just cashed in. They just cashed in. The same way that Nancy Pelosi cashes in. Oh, I think I'm going to pass some laws, but first, let me do a little bit of stock trading. I'm now the most successful stock trade. Ray Dalio. Ray Dow who? Nancy Pelosi. That's exactly what they're all doing. They're doing it with our homes, with our real estate, with what we need to survive. It's almost, I would hate to say it's a human right, but my God, it's almost a necessity. You have to live somewhere, folks. I don't know, maybe get an RV. I don't know what to do. But either way, we're screwed. With that being said, I wish I had a happier ending to this, but I really don't. Don't know what to do. So if you know what we can do, then leave it below. Maybe we can work together. Two heads are smarter than one, right? Yeah. Have a nice day.